Hi and welcome to Fun with Azure.
My name's Martin Abbott.
And my name's Todd Elliott.
So this week we've got a different take on the episode. We have a special guest. It's our first special guest, and this is going to be a WPC specific episode, which is great.
Okay, we'd now like to welcome Mr Gary Duffield, Alliance's partner for DDLS in Australia. And DDLS is Australia's largest Microsoft training provider. Now, this year was a pretty special year for DDLS learning. Can you tell us a bit about that, Gary?
I can, Todd. I've got to tell you that I'm delighted to say this year we won the Microsoft Global Learning Partner of the Year. It's the first time it's come to Australia, and I cannot tell you how proud we are to actually sort of bring that gong home, as it were.
Wow, that's great. And so you'll get that at WPC this year?
We'll get that at WPC. The awards at WPC, they mean a lot. They have it very well orchestrated. We get to go and have lunch with Satalyst. We get the old trophy at that point in time as well.
Nice.
Okay, and so congratulations from us all here at Satalyst.
Thank you.
So, Gary, we hear you're a bit of a legend around the old WPC traps. Can you tell us just actually how many WPCs have you been to?
I was trying to weigh this up, Todd. I've got to say that my first one was in 1999.
Okay.
Back then it was called Fusion. My daughter at the time was 1, and she celebrates being 18 this very week, in fact. And pretty much I've missed all of her birthdays because it used to clash. So, but if you think of the investment that's involved in that, the investment in time and effort and money, there has to be something in it. There has to be something that makes me keep wanting to go back year after year after year. It is the single biggest investment I make in terms of learning and self-development.
Okay, so I guess with just over a week to go to this year's WPC, can you tell us a little bit about what those first timers might need to do in preparation and what they need to be, how to make the most of the event?
I'm the first timer this year, so
I mean, Martin and I have chatted about this. I think there are sort of two things I'd recommend. One is you've got to put the effort into working out who's going to be there beforehand. Microsoft make tools available like WPC Connect.
Yeah.
It takes no effort to register yourself on there, and also it takes no effort to then go and run some filters and work out who's going from Australia, who's going from companies with the same competence as you, like who's the competition, who's going to be there, who's maybe a potential customer or an existing customer. If I'm honest, I don't use the meeting facilities a great deal at WPC. I'd much sooner have informal meetings in bars and pubs than sit around a table and go through somebody's sort of described PowerPoint deck of their wares. But if that works for you, absolutely great.
Okay. Cool. And Gary, can you tell us about some highlights of past WPCs, things that have stuck in your mind that sort of hark back when you're having those drinks at the bars and say, remember?
I think this one will stick in my mind because of the award win.
Yeah.
If I think back to my very first one back in San Francisco, Bill Gates then was the keynote speaker, and I was probably a little bit sad. I got to the auditorium first. I was on the front row. I even
fanboy.
Exactly. I even emailed him before the event and said, "Bill, why don't we stuff the event and go and get a few beers somewhere?" Of which one of his team responded that he wouldn't be able to do that.
Shame.
But in terms of his messaging, what he was talking about what became .NET. He was talking about what became the Surface. He was talking back in '99 about a device that you kind of flipped open and you could write on it. You didn't have to wait 3 hours for the thing to boot up.
Yeah.
What I didn't do at that point is join all the dots. You're getting all this information, you're getting this intellect. You've got to work out where the opportunities are from what Microsoft are telling you. 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, they were talking about what became Azure and Office 365. If you tuned in, if you heard what they were saying, you could have made some money.
Yeah.
And if you didn't tune in, you'd still be trying to sell compact servers with NT4 on top of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's great turning up. It's doing something with what you learn there.
Okay, so that's the past. Is there anything particularly other than the award-winner course that you're looking forward to this year?
Every year, I look forward to catching up with people I only see once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But also, it's an opportunity to talk to all the Microsoft people who you might see, occasionally or bump into.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity to, maybe even formally request time with these people. I've got meetings with the general manager of Microsoft Learning, with the senior leadership team of Microsoft Learning. I'm taking my sales director and my sort of operations guy over, and these people don't always get chance to speak to those kind of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it would be exploit those opportunities. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can drown in PowerPoint at these events.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The skill is the balance. Back in '99, I went to just about every single session I possibly could. I thought that's what it
Brain
was
dead
about.
by the end of 2 or 3 days.
Whereas in actual fact, it's probably 2/3 that and 1/3 the networking, the talking, not just to Microsoft people, but to customers, competitors,
course, yeah.
and everybody in
Yeah.
between. And that's paid dividends for me over the years.
Okay, that's great. So, so that's WPC, right? And I think we're all probably looking forward to that.
Yep, no, it should be a great
So
time.
what is it, a week and a half now, I think.
Yep, and I think you've got your spot on the Niagara Falls tour
I've
now.
got my spot on the Niagara Falls tour, which is great. So we've already mentioned that you're the largest provider of training for us in Australia for Microsoft. So taking that back to Azure and thinking about Azure specifically, how have you seen the demand for that change over the last few years for training?
It's been an interesting ride, really. I mean, I think any training company is a barometer of what's happening out in the industry. If we're training in it, it means there's some demand. If we're not training in it, it means either the market's saturated or nobody's interested in the technology. We haven't done a lot of NT4 training in a very long in a very long time. So when Azure training started to hit the market, we got the early adopters, we got those who were really keen, we got the partners who wanted to get onto the bandwagon, get their competencies, we got organisations who were adopting it at the start of the curve. And that was great. We did very well out of that. We had lots of people attending lots of training courses. I think the drama that we've had is as the product has evolved, we haven't got that 3-year sort of rinse and repeat cycle.
Yeah, of course.
We found, exactly. We found very quickly that the training, which was state of the art at this point in time, by the time we got to there, actually it didn't bear a lot of resemblance to the actual product as it was shipping.
Yeah.
So we've had to reinvent ourselves in how we deliver that, and how we take that to market. To the point where, in honesty, I suspended Azure training for a little while just to allow us to catch up.
Okay.
And that's a paradigm shift from NT4 ships. You did training for 3 years. Windows 2000 ships. You did training, and so it goes on. So we've been through, that baptism of fire.
Yeah.
As customers are having to do, as partners delivering and deploying this technology are having to do. We're delivering that course now, and it's become business as usual.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got banks attending the course, we've got solicitors attending the course, we've got Microsoft partners attending the course. So from partners, early adopters, it's now just business as usual.
Good.
And that's really good to see, and that also applies to Office 365. It's not some magic mysterious thing anymore. It's production ready, business as usual.
Now a product. Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us today, Gary. Have you got anything you want to close with?
All I would say is anybody watching this who's attending WPC, if you find me in a bar somewhere and would like to escort me back to my hotel, that would be great, or at least point me in the right direction. Just to thank you guys for the opportunity this morning.
No problem.
No worries, you're welcome.
Thank you
very
for
much,
coming in.
Gary.
Cheers, Gary.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Gary. That was great to hear from you and some of your experiences from WPC and the changing Azure world and how that impacts a training organisation like yours. So we look forward to seeing Gary up there in the winner's circle at the start of WPC in a bit over a week's time now. So, Martin, it's your first time this year, as you mentioned when we were talking to Gary. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're looking forward for WPC for this year?
Yeah. I mean, other than, of course, the Niagara trip, which I think will be awesome, the main thing I'm looking forward to is actually just connecting with people. So Perth is quite a small place, and Australia much bigger. But I think, generally speaking, it's such a great opportunity to network with peers, with other organisations, with Microsoft key officials, but also the engineering teams. I think just doing some of those roundtables and being in that position where you can actually ask a question, I think is going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay, that sounds great. This time we're going to be coming to you from Toronto at WPC. I'm Todd Elliott.
I'm Martin Abbott.
And this has been Fun with Azure.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.